Good morning, students. Welcome to the St. Michael's Academy, Vidya's e-learning class of English of class 3. We will going to learn chapter 1, story Noi Saves a Whale, written by Benji Davis. Now, today we will read a story about a boy named Noi. Let's start paragraph 1. Noi and his father lived on an island. Their house was very close to the sea. Noi's father was a fisherman every day. He left early for a long day's work on his fishing boat and come back home only after dark. Means once upon a time, there was a boy named Noi. He was a fisherman's son. He lived with his father on an island. Noi's father used to go for work every day early in the morning and return home only after dark. One night, a great storm raged around their house. In the morning, Noi went down to the beach to see what had been left behind by the storm. As he walked along the seashore, he spotted something in the distance. "What's that?" he asked himself. When he got closest, Noah could not believe his eyes. "Oh my, that's a baby whale!" he exclaimed. A little whale was lying on the beach. It must have been washed up because of the storm, Noah thought. Means one night there was a great storm around their house. Next morning, Noah went on the beach to find out what was left behind by the storm. Now, to his surprise, he saw a baby whale lying on the beach. It seemed helpless. Third paragraph. He wondered what he could do to help the whale. He knew that it wasn't good for a whale to be out of the water as it could not survive on land for long. Just then, Noi remembered something. He ran home and got a bucket. He filled the bucket with water from the sea and poured it over the whale. Noi had once read that if a whale is washed ashore, one should pour cold water on it. That means Noah decided to help baby whale as he knew the whale would not survive for long without water. Noah ran home, brought a bucket, filled it with water, and so that the whale could leave. Now I must be quick, he thought. He ran home again and brought back his full cart. With much difficulty, he lifted the whale and then put it in the cart. Now, Noah decided to help the whale by taking it home. So he brought his pulled cart and with much difficulty he managed to lift the whale and put it on the cart. Next paragraph. Once he was home, he filled his bathtub with cold water and put the whale in it. I hope I have done enough to save the baby whale, Noah thought hopefully. Noi did everything to make the whale feel at home. He told the whale stories about the life by the sea with his father. He thought that his new friend was an excellent listener. This means Noi managed to slide the whale in his bathtub filled with cold water. Noi was happy, thinking he had done enough to save the whale. He spent time with the whale to telling him stories and experiences of his life. Noi considered with whale as a good listener and a friend. Next paragraph is, but when it became dark and the night drew in, Noi got worried. Father will be very angry with me for bringing a whale inside the house. It means now it was late evening and time to Noi's father to return from work. Noi got worried, thinking his father could get angry at him for bringing whale home. Next paragraph. When his father returned, Noi did not tell him anything at first. He managed to keep his secret the whole evening. He even managed to sneak in some supper for the whale, but he knew he could not be able to keep his secret for long, and he was right. It means now he didn't tell anything to his father. In the evening time, he managed to give some food to the whale, knowing knew that his father would soon find out my secret. Next paragraph. After supper, Noi's father went upstairs and saw the whale. Then Noi had to tell his father everything. But his father wasn't angry, so Noi said, can we please keep the baby whale, father? It's the only friend I have now. I will take great care of it. That means when after supper, Noi's father went upstairs, he saw the whale. He was very surprised. Now Noi explained him everything that he had done to help the whale. But his father was not angry. Noi asked to his father if he could it keep the whale as a pet, as he considered it as a good friend. Next paragraph is, I have been so busy, Noi. I never realized that you were so lonely, said Noi's father sadly. I am so happy and proud of you for helping this little whale. But you see, Noi, it must be missing its family. We must take it back to the sea, to the place where it belongs, he added. Noi's father realized his feelings or loneliness, and he explained Noi that the baby whale must be missing its family, so they needed to take it back to the sea. Next lines. Noes and his father put the whale in a motorboat and rowed out into the dark sea. Then they put the whale back into the sea water. Noe knew it was the right thing to do, but it was hard for him to say goodbye. However, he was glad his father was there with him. This means Noah and his father took the whale along with them when in a motorbike in order to put it back in the sea, and when they reached in the deep water, they let it go. Though it was hard for Noe to say goodbye to his dear friend, but still he was happy that his father was with him. The whale happily returned to his family. Last paragraph is Noe often thought about the storm whale and wondered how it would become one day. He hoped that soon one day he would see his friend again. And this is whenever Noe stole on the seashore, he always thought his friend, wondering how big it must have growing and hoping to see it one day. Now I hope that you all understood this story. Thank you.